Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Watch Night of the Living Dead. And just to clarify right up front, the reason why the film in question is being shown here on YouTube is because it is actually in the public domain. The story behind that is sort of sad and a little silly. I won't get into it here. Just suffice to say that basically it's almost never not been in the public domain. Like, George Romero didn't actually properly copyright it, and so one of the most influential works of the modern era, the first true modern zombie film, basically made no money for the director after after its initial showing. And Dawn of the Dead also kind of didn't have a great track record with that. George Romero kind of got screwed over with two of his most iconic movies. But that preamble out of the way, let us watch Night of the Living Dead, the 1968 classic. Apologize if you don't like my face, I'm just shoving it up there. Welcome to The Road! Behold the terror of Carr! We open up on a suburban road. A car is driving down the street, unaware that it's driving straight into the Twilight Zone. And I'd really like to just spend a little bit of time just watching this car. Okay. We got the scene. We can cut now. There we go. Oh no, we want more of that car, do we? Okay. True terror there. John Russo famously went on to become a classic horror icon that George Romero asshole didn't do anything. Really just gonna focus on that car, aren't we? More car. True terror. And little do people know that this actually inspired Maximum Overdrive as well. You know, it was the famous inspiration. That's what really came out of this whole film. Wow, they really love this car. Yeah. Oh my God! Is the car going to go off there? No! Oh wait! No! It's just on the dirt road now. Cemetery. E-Rants? The hell is an E-Rants? Well, this is getting too spooky for me. Cemeteries. Alright, that's alright. Get that car in with the tombstones. Yeah, I'd really selling us on that horror. Oh, America! Okay, patriotic, good. And you know the car is a true American, not one of these goddamn commie mobiles. Just really hammer in that car thing, aren't we? God damn. Hey, that's not a car at all.
They ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us.
Go back to the car.
We've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh.
Well, now I guess we have to move the grave.
Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth.
Okay, to be fair, that is a ridiculous waste of time.
We trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
And John may be an asshole, but I kind of gotta respect him.
Back on? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problems.
No, I'm sure there's nothing important on the news. Oh yeah, the car's back! I love you, car! Car's the true hero of this film.
Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
My God, that is an ugly tie. Holy hell. I really love these gray and gray nature scenes. You know, really sell you on the beauty of Pittsburgh.
Well, there's no one around.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep on the time change.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk.
Yeah, it's better than the
There
car.
it is.
Oh, who am I kidding? Car's the best. Okay. Put down the wreath and you can go home. End of movie.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year.
That's a good
Wonder
business
how many
model.
times we bought the same one.
You rather they just litter these things all over the goddamn place, man? Come on. It's like styrofoam. That's never gonna decompose. Ew, my pens. Gotta protect them.
Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh?
Yeah, fuck you, God. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Man, whatever happened to driving gloves? Remember them? Truly, truly high society.
Hey, I mean praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church.
I know I'm going to
Do you
hell.
remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said,
We got
"Why
really
should they
excited.
come to hell?"
That's a
Remember
great thing to
that?
say to a
Right over
child.
there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
What, you think this is a horror movie or something? Get over it, kid.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Favorite quote.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Yeah, just ignorant.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
Yeah, but he's
They're coming
entertaining.
for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
You see, like, this guy's a total asshole, but I gotta respect him because he is just delightfully asshole-ish. True hero of the movie.
Johnny! Help me!
Oh no! Oh no, his glasses! Those are his superpower! He's doomed now! Oh, he's going for it! He's going for a suplex! Oh, and he lightly bumps the gravestone! That's gonna be down for the count there, friends! Notice the zombies don't actually, like, eat the dead guy. Like, this is apparently before they actually decided, you know what? Kill the person, eat the person. Good model. Early days, they're still learning. And, tripping up on a flat surface, that's a classic horror move there. Kind of lost that one over time, but, you know, the classics never truly should go away, you know? Fucking flopping over all over, you know, completely smooth vertical surfaces. Very, very alarmed by the idea of this guy pressing his hands against the glass. Yeah, okay, like, this isn't really a joke, but I actually find it kind of fun that, you know, in this early zombie movie, they're kind of smarter. Like, they're not really smart, but they figure out just enough to go like, wait, this door isn't opening, let's try the other one. Okay, that's not working either, let's get a rock. You know, Romero zombies are actually generally portrayed as being a lot smarter than later zombies tend to be shown as. You know, they do eventually, like, figure out, like, tool use and stuff, but it is just kind of funny to see that, like, even in this very first on-screen depiction of a modern Living Dead zombie, it actually shows some basic level of, you know, tool use and learning comprehension. And the world's slowest car wreck. There we go. guess I better run. A lot of driving and running in this movie. Keep going, dear. Keep going. We got a lot of film to go through. Hey, a farmhouse. That looks like a safe place in a horror movie. Oh, for the classic days of the 60s when gas stations just roamed free through the fields. No one's home, dear. Okay, so this is another kind of just weird off-topic thing, but I actually own a DVD release of this film because, obviously, public domain, tons of people threw out, like, stupid, DVD releases. The one I got is the colored version, where they tried to color this whole film, and it is glorious. It is gloriously ugly. They, like, painted half the rooms pink and yellow, and just, it's grotesque, and I love it. I can't actually show that one because, obviously, that one does have a copyright because, of the fact that they changed it with all the colorization and stuff, but, oh my god, if you have a chance, check out the colorized version of Night of the Living Dead, because it is just beautiful. I'm glad we got away from, the tedium of driving and running to instead check out empty rooms. Very slow walking now. Really kind of mixing it up. Oops, I knocked that over. Whoa. It was so nice of George's grandma to let them film in her house. The Evil Dead Cabin, the early years. Ah! Dead animals! Like, this is a jump scare that the character isn't actually reacting to. He's very frustrated. Hell used to live here. A pleasant little farmhouse out in the country with a leopard skin, on the wall, and a bunch of dead animal heads from like boars and deers and shit. Spoiler warning: the owner of the house isn't, alive inside anymore. But like, damn, the movie about that person would have been kind of awesome. Considering the decoration, it looks like an elderly lady, who also happens to be a big game hunter. Oh no, Mormons! Hey guys, fuck it, I don't wanna... I got a thing going on here. Upstairs, that's right, that exists. And this upcoming scene in color is hilarious. Because they went nuts with the colors for that one. Oh no! Cars! Black guy, hello? So this is the 60s, so I'm a little uncomfortable with where this might be going.
It's all right.
Wait, you're a cool guy?
Don't worry about him. I can handle him.
Are you the hero of this
As soon as
movie?
they find out about us.
Sir, this is the 60s. You can't be the hero of the movie. That... What?
Truck's out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key?
I don't know how to
Trying
react
to
to
get out
this.
if we can get some gas. Is there a key?
Am I still the
we
star?
tried this.
I don't understand anymore.
Do you live here?
So yeah, okay. Joking aside, no, like this movie was actually super radical for the fact that like the lead character is a super chill black dude in this horror movie, and like the other lead is this lady, and like
Get out of here.
they're just they're just the two main characters. Like there's a couple other characters and stuff, but these two are
Maybe we better take some food.
the main protagonists.
I'll see if I can find some food.
Now, I say these two are the protagonists, though she spends a lot of the movie just kind of doing this. She's she's not exactly a very proactive protagonist. Romero would end up later regretting how kind of dopey she is, and would have his future female protagonist be a lot more proactive and competent and not her. But again, it was still pretty cool for the time.
What's happening?
Oh, you think it's happening?
What's happening?
Light bad. That's something that didn't really carry over to other films.
Two
Is
of them.
the idea that the zombies just don't like light. Like that's pretty much unique to Night of the Living Dead.
Have you
Like
seen any
there's
more
almost no
around
zombie
here? I
movies
can
that
take
actually
care
do
of
that.
those two.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to.
don't know! I don't know! What's happening?
Hi. Oh, hey there. Mind if I get involved? I've got a weird monster face. Do not cool. Hardy foul, bro. Hey, door was unlocked. Mind if I borrow some sugar, neighbor? Oh, is this a bad time? Alright, well. That's a couple more people murdered. That's fine. That's cool. Oh, hey, is this awkward? I'm sorry. My metal tool! Hey man, look, I'm super high right now. Just, help me out, will ya? Ooh. Right through the noggin. I hate killing people. It just really tuckers me out. Oh, dude! Right in the eye! I'm not even a zombie, you asshole! Again, like, zombie movie where the zombies actually feel pain. Kinda weird.
I know we're in here now.
I'm going to wander around for a bit. Hope you don't mind.
Don't look at it.
So yeah, that guy's supposed to be dead. The eyes moving is just the fact that the actor is having trouble keeping his eyes straight. Which, to be fair, I mean, they hired a bunch of people basically just from around the local area, so, you know, you're not getting, like, world-class, you know, actors. Pretty much the best actor in the movie is this guy right here, who is, you know, obviously the lead. Everyone else is, you know, to varying levels, good enough. Oh, fire bag! I guess we're Frankenstein at this point. Really good use of lighting, though. Yeah, especially for like a zero budget, you know, a tiny budgeted film. Like, the lighting is fantastic.
Get some more lights on in this house.
The phones are dead, but the power's on. That's nice. I'm 100% sure how that worked out, but, you know. No chainsaws yet, but we got a few things going on here. She is really, really fondling that knife in a way that makes me uncomfortable. I'm so afraid that poor lady is going to, like, cut her damn hands. Jeez Louise.
Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up.
Okay.
God damn. Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place.
This guy has the patience of a saint with this poor woman.
Okay?
I get the fact that she's traumatized. I mean, like, obviously, like, she has been scarred by her experiences with seeing her brother die and all that. I'm not trying to say, like, oh, you know, she's an idiot or whatever, but, like, in a life or death situation like this, it's gotta be, you know, nightmare to have the only other person around you just sort of wander back going like, ooh, touch the wall, fondle the knife. Oh boy, creepy ass music boxes. Oh boy, like those. God, we don't have those things anymore. They're fucking disturbing. Yeah, I wonder why they don't do this more often in like horror movies. Like when they're boarding up houses and shit, like actually, you know, like tearing up like the shells and like taking the doors off the hinges to use as additional barricades, like people just seem to always pull out just random 2x4s. It never really seems to make a lot of sense, or like, you know, like they'll like leave perfectly good wood laying around to just like hammer in a couple of like little flimsy planks. And this sort of thing makes some goddamn sense. I like that. Aww. Oh, bless your heart, sweetie. That is not helping, but, you know, bless your heart for trying.
I've got wood.
Yeah, I'll just put it here. Again, like, I actually do, like, she is traumatized as hell, and, like, the fact that she's not helpful is totally understandable, but I do kind of appreciate the fact that even while she's just sort of wandering around in a, you know, post-traumatic haze, she's still trying to help. Like, she still has the sense of like the basic human decency and, you know, survival instinct to want to help keep the two of them alive. It's a small thing, but it's a good thing. And with as slow as this movie can be, just all those nice little moments really help to keep it from getting too bogged down in just the slow minutiae of boarding houses, running away from zombies, and driving cars.
If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long for those things to be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now.
Zombies feeling fear. Also, witness the very first my zombie survival plan moment. This is how we're gonna board out the door. This is how we're gonna do this. This is how we're gonna do that.
You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there.
Stealing trucks? Good sir, that is illegal.
I jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on.
That would have been really cool to see. It's also really, really expensive, so.
I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. Those things were catching up to it.
Oh my god. The emergency lights.
The truck went
They're
right
coming.
across the road.
They're coming to get me.
Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now it's like a moving bonfire.
This whole thing could actually probably be done as a stage play. I wouldn't be surprised if it has.
Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it.
Yeah, so again, first and like last time, zombies are portrayed as being essentially Frankenstein's monster with
If there was anyone there who could help me.
with them being, you know, fire bad.
That's when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled.
Weirdly, as much as Night of the Living Dead was like the first modern zombie film and really created the zombie movie as it exists today, obviously there were voodoo zombie movies before this, but it was the Italian film Zombie!
I was alone.
Exclamation point. Then introduced some of the other aspects like them not being afraid of fire, them eating brains, etc.
Staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there staring at me.
That is an actually genuinely terrifying idea.
Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
Like, imagine you're in a world where zombies
We
didn't
were riding
exist,
in the cemetery,
and you just
Johnny and me.
heard about this idea of like people
Johnny.
just standing in the road, staring at oncoming cars that mows through them. Like, that's fucking
came to put a
creepy as
wreath
hell.
On my father's grave. Johnny and...
Oh, Johnny,
And he
what an
said-
asshole.
Can I have some candy, Barbara? We didn't have any. And... Oh, it's hot in here.
Oh my. This movie's going in a new direction.
And he said, oh, it's late. Why did we start so late? And I said, Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late.
Okay,
Johnny asked me if I were afraid.
you know, she hams it up in a few
And I
of
said,
these bits and stuff,
I'm
but like,
not afraid, Johnny.
I do think this actress is really quite good.
And then
She's,
this man started walking up
you know,
the
she
road.
sells being traumatized. Like,
Came
she sells this
slowly.
pretty well. This
And
is
Johnny
pretty
kept
on point
teasing
for,
me and saying,
you know, people
"He's
who've been
coming
through
to get
horrible
you,
trauma.
Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, Johnny, stop it. And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
Yeah, I'm sorry
And
I'm
I
not
looked
making
up-
as many jokes as I probably should be. I
I said,
just really
"Goody."
love this movie and kind of just
And he grabbed me.
talking about why I like it so much.
He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, Johnny!
I mean, like,
Johnny, help
Jesus
me!
Christ,
Oh,
this is-
help me! And he wouldn't let me go.
like,
He
that's
ripped-
like, that's actually really disturbing.
And then Johnny came
Oh,
and he
God.
grabbed it.
Oh, I'm sorry,
He fought this man.
I have no jokes to make about this scene.
Afraid. I ran.
Like, you'd say it's
ran.
hammy, but like, fuck. Like,
I ran.
imagine, you
Johnny
know,
didn't come.
imagine experiencing something like that. Imagine what is essentially like an assault, and then seeing your brother die, you know, from at the hands of the assaulter, and you know all
We better go out
all this. Like,
and
it's
get
really
him.
like
We
you'd
have
be
to go out
fucking
and get Johnny.
fucked up by this
He's
whole thing.
out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh.
Oh, ow. And then she faints. Before anyone says anything, she did hit him first. You know, like, punching a lady in the face who's panicking is not exactly a good thing, but, you know, to be fair to him, like, she hit him in the face first. And this scene is not going where you think it is. He's a classy gentleman. He's just making sure she doesn't have, like, a fucking heat stroke. Anyway, sorry, I'll go back to trying to make some jokes now. As soon as the siren fucking stops. Oh boy. Oh jeez Louise.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country
With minimum
are
commercial
pooling their
breaks.
resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent...
The ninja uprising has come!
slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being...
Something, I don't know. We're not gonna find out, because our main character has left the building. And maybe probably should have boarded up that window.
A really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we
had vampire plans, werewolf plans,
that any kind of organized investigation
Creature from the
is yet
Black Lagoon
underway.
plans. We didn't have any mass Frankenstein
And
plans.
emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment. But
So apparently the West is safe.
The only advice
Because the Midwest is got fucked up.
from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis.
Oh look,
has
so
been
a
determined.
lady's alive somewhere. She's getting a nice little sing on.
Keep listening.
Yes, keep listening to TV. Famous Soundbox.
And factory workers are being urged to stay at their places of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to reach their families or apparently to flee.
Take note, role-playing game players. You can make a giant flaming torch out of these common household ingredients. Yeah, they weren't actually attacking the house, my dude. Pretty much didn't need to do that. You actually just brought more attention on yourself than anything else. They really hate fire, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the president has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder.
All right, everybody. We gotta deal with these zombies.
Within the hour.
I'm looking at any ideas.
Be joined by officials of the FBI and joint chiefs behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the
There will be a number of tweets sent out during the meeting, though.
Latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we've just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That's the extent of this latest bulletin.
They will be ignored, but they will be there.
Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and scientists from NASA within the hour. All radio and
Yeah, I don't think they actually... I forget whether or not they actually like specifically mentioned, but it's kind of implied in this one that it's like cosmic radiation or something is what causes zombies.
news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV, and
That's
to
why
stay
NASA's
indoors
involved.
at all costs.
Because,
Late
you know,
reports reaching this
60s.
newsroom tell of frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder, which apparently is engulfing much of the nation. Law enforcement officials are at a loss to explain or even...
Okay, so this is like a weird, just random note. But the first, like one of the first times, no, actually, I wasn't the first time. But it was one of the first times I watched this movie. I did so in my like middle school AV club with this really cool professor who's like this super old hippie dude. Yeah, one of my favorite teachers of all time. But he was telling me about like watching the film for the first time in the 60s, like when it first came out, and he was actually saying how like at least, you know, with the audience he was watching it with, like there was this genuine like shock, not only with like, you know, having this black dude being like the main character of the film, but also with the fact that they had, you know, a black guy and a white lady trapped in a house, and at no point do they imply that he's some sort of predator or that like the lady's in danger because of him or anything like that, because at this time when this movie came out, especially in certain parts of the world, the idea of, you know, black dude plus white lady, you know, alone equals danger. And so the fact that not only was that not the case in this movie, but the fact that, you know, they never even really, you know, imply or play with that concept was just totally radical. And was, you know, like for him was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, that's so cool that they didn't do that. So that's like a weird little personal anecdote I have about, you know, watching this movie as a kid.
Eastern portion of Texas.
And yes, I watched Night of the Living Dead when I was like a kid. When I was in like,
Found a gun and some bullets out there.
Watched a lot of movies I shouldn't have when I was a kid.
Oh, and these.
When I was in like preschool, I watched Jaws. Like in like kindergarten, I watched Jaws.
Newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This place is boarded up pretty solid now.
in nature. However, as these
We ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon
Famous last
There's a
words.
gun and
more than the
bullets,
usual run of lawlessness.
food, and the radio.
Officials began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone's
Things as
bound to come and get us out.
Yes,
So again,
rescue always comes in zombie apocalypse movies.
you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Cautious of any suspicious stranger.
Okay, yeah, again, like, I know I've said this before, but, like, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, I want this dude with me. He's
Look, I don't know if you're here,
patient, he's
but I'm going
supportive,
upstairs now.
you know, he's nice, he's
If anything
proactive,
should try to break in here, I can hear it from up
pretty
there. I'll be down
strong,
to take care of
pretty
it.
smart, and he, you know,
Everything
yeah,
is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later.
he seems like the sort of dude who
But
would
you'll
just
be all right
really
for
be
now,
helpful.
Okay.
There's a few morally questionable things he does slightly later on, but like, I'd personally argue that they're super justified given the situation.
Evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
And here we get the zombies actually eating people. That is actually something I don't... It's been a little while since I watched the movie the last time, but I don't think they ever actually show another zombie in the house. Like, there doesn't appear to be a zombie in the house that would have reasonably eaten this lady. So I'm not 100% certain how she got eaten, but then they didn't have someone... I mean, spoiler, there's some more people in the house. They do actually establish later on there's some more people in the house, so I guess they shot the other zombie and threw it outside, but since we never see the body, this is always just something that kind of
Consistent
confused
reports
me.
from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest
Again,
bulletin
like,
just received moments
there's
ago
actually
from
a thing,
Cumberland, Maryland. Civil
in
defense
early zombie
authorities have told
films,
newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
like White Zombie,
Medical examination of victims' bodies shows
you know, voodoo
conclusively
zombies
that the
didn't
killers
eat people.
are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's
So like,
difficult to imagine
and it
such a
isn't
thing
like
actually happening.
flesh-eating cannibalistic
These other
monsters
reports we have
was
been
new
receiving and passing on you.
to
Reports
Night of
which
the Living
have
Dead or
been
anything, but
verified as
the
completely
idea
as is
of
possible
zombie
in this
as
unusual
flesh
situation.
eater was
It is
pretty
happening. And it
pretty
would appear
much
that no
this
one
film's
is safe from this
invention.
wave of mass
Of course,
murder.
in this film, yeah, here you go, other people in the house. This movie technically, I think, refers to the zombies as ghouls. It's not until like much later, like it's actually a zombie that was the one that kind of like associated Living Dead monsters with the word zombie in this context. But you know, like again, like it's like this movie pretty much invented like this movie and Zombie. And Zombie was directly inspired by this film. Pretty much established all the rules of the modern zombie.
Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody if needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
So, okay, another little bit, just going back to what I was saying before about my teacher who I watched this with. He was kind of explaining to me, like, you know, at the time, you have this movie, you have, you know, the lady, the black guy, the older, you know, authoritative white man, the young, you know, white guy.
Now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a
you know,
safe
like
place.
this guy would be the
We walk
hero,
into a safe
or
place, and
at
you're
worst,
telling us we gotta risk
like,
our
or at
lives
least
just
like the
because
other young
somebody
guy would be
might
the hero.
need
In this
help,
case,
huh?
this guy's the asshole, and the young dude is a fucking idiot.
Mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of
Yeah,
them.
like again, like the fact that this dude is the hero and that these, you know, two other white dudes are actually an asshole and an idiot is
And
still
I'm
pretty
telling
fucking
you,
radical.
Those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. The kid's hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy. You know that? You got 1,000,000 windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're
Admittedly,
here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
As much of an asshole as he is,
They'll probably get us wherever we
he's
go.
not super wrong, but
The cellar.
you know,
The cellar, there's only one door.
our hero is
Just
also
one door,
right
that's
in
all
that,
we have to
you know,
protect.
they lock themselves in the cellar, they're
Behind us,
probably
there's
just
boards
going
from
to
the
be delaying the
inside.
inevitable, whereas
Here,
up
all
here they
these
can maybe
windows,
escape.
Why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right.
And again, it's actually kind of interesting. Like later on, zombie films would probably side with him in with the asshole in terms of being like, nah, fuck it, the rescue's never gonna come anyway, so fucking just find the most defensive location. And the optimistic dude who's like, hey, let's secure ourselves in a place where we can look for rescue, would be considered the foolish optimist who's going to kill everyone.
We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
We're back.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
Oh no! Unarm! Quick! Poke your gun out the window. Don't shoot, though. Ow! Stop hitting my fingers! Ow! 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 That hurts, you dick. Come on! Don't grab my gun! Don't grab my gun! That's a dick move, dude. Don't grab my gun. Oh, dude, you shot me in the chest. Oh, that's another party foul, dude. That's another party foul.
Harry?
It's all right.
Harry, what's happening?
It's all right.
This is the quietest gun of all time. Okay, you know what? Shoot me once, shame on me. Shoot me twice, shame on you. Shoot me 3 times, I'm fucking dead. Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you. That's it, I'm calling my buddies, dude. Now you gotta fucking get it, dude. Hey, they said, you can't sell a horror film without nudity. Check out that hot zombie butt. And zombie boobies. And zombie internal face. Behold, gross zombies eating bugs.
We gotta fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly. I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the window.
You don't have to all come upstairs, man.
You're stupid enough to go die in that trap. That's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid. That old man is so stupid. Now, get the hell down in the cellar.
Now, admittedly, both of them are being kind of dicks at this point, and the best solution would be a middle ground one where they work together. But again, like, our hero is kind of, mostly in the right here, and the fact that Mr. Cooper is basically making it an if-or,
His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Thing, and is like basically willing to fight them over it is kind of ridiculous. Like, he's being an asshole. They could probably find a better solution if he was less inflexible. So, again, while our hero is being kind of a dick right now,
Let them get her too, huh?
It's more because Mr. Cooper is pretty much like forcing his hand to, make this an if or like an and or scenario, or one or the other scenario. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about.
We can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here.
Gee willikers, sir, we'll take care of this one, no problem, right?
Hey, kid.
Again, just to remind us that he's not an asshole. Like the other one dude's like, I'm taking this girl, she's mine now. Yeah, this dude being like, hey, you know, chin up, cool, good.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them.
This guy is such an asshole.
There are 2 other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard you screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Oh, she is so done with his shit. Like, he so wants to be the hero of this movie, and just, you know, it burns him up inside that he's not. Again, okay, I'll you know, credit where it's due. Like, most of the actors in this film are honestly pretty good. Like, they're all kind of locals. You know, a lot of them are clearly not like big professional actors. I mean, none of them are big professional actors, but I mean, like, you know, most of them, you know, are like theater actors at most. But like, most of them are pretty good. Most of them, they play their parts well.
Monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
Yeah, that lighting is just so good.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, and that's
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
the thing. Like, as much as he has at least some like valid points, the fact that he's doing basically all of this just because he desperately wants to be right and desperately wants to be like the big man who is,
There's a radio upstairs and
you know,
you
the
boarded
correct
us in
one.
down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. They don't know anything.
Like, he desperately wants to be the father's
Mass murder
knows best
everywhere,
dude, and it's just
people
not
are supposed to
happening.
look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication.
Harry, Helen, you two gotta stop fighting.
They'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon?
This isn't a dungeon, it's a cellar! It's a cellar, goddammit, it's a cellar! I will not have any of this D&D crap in my
We may
home.
not enjoy living together. But dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
I like Miss Cooper. Like, she is pretty fucking on point.
Let's go up.
Tom? If Judy would
That
come
was a weird cut.
downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
It's kind of a shame that this is all taking place in the 60s. Like, because, like, I feel like, you know, like, Miss Cooper probably could have been, like, a pretty rad, like, main character or, like, main secondary character, if not for the fact that, you know, she's trapped being 60s housewife to asshole, you know, dad. Like, she's already got the makings of a pretty great character. It's just that, like, you know, like, she's meant to be playing the particular role of, like, the wife. And just, yeah, it's a shame. I like the actress, I like the character.
I'll take good care of her, Helen.
I feel like she kind of just gets shortchanged just by virtue of, you know, when this movie is being made and when it's set. Because she's basically a very similar character to Fran from Dawn of the Dead, who, you know, kind of has a, you know, again, has a similar character, but is a much stronger character just because it was made during, I think the one was made during the 70s, and, you know, she was given a lot more autonomy, you know, by virtue of, like, just the fact that she's the girlfriend of one of the main characters rather than the wife of one of the main characters, and again, in the 70s rather than the 60s.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
And I only bring that up because I think that the potential for the character to be more than they are is there. It's just that, you know, for the sake of verisimilitude, you know, to go along with what it was realistic for a character like this to be like, based on a human being like this in this time period and stuff, that's just what you get. It's also a shame that, you know, one of the three women in this film, you know, is largely catatonic and
Don't be afraid of
traumatized
me.
through most of it.
I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
Your husband's an asshole.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here.
Yeah. Hey, don't fuck with the set, dude. It's already flimsy as it is.
Her brother was killed.
What a prick.
And they talk about these windows.
Yeah.
I can't see a damn thing. There could be 50 million of those things out there.
That's
how much good these windows are.
Man, these windows are they're not boarded up enough. And they're also too boarded up.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Here I have it. Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here.
And here we get one of my.
You better watch this and try to understand what's going on.
Fuck you, dude.
I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on.
Again, like, there's that one little line there that just makes me feel like Helen could have been such a better character if this was a different time, because, like, she's like, hey, is there anything I can do to help? And then she just gets shouted over by these other two
Mass
guys.
hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this? Shut up!
But yeah, I love whenever Romero does these things, because, like, especially in this and in Dawn, like, the budget was so low that this is clearly not an actual news station. It's just, like, you know, people, like, with a camera on them being shown whatever location they could, like, cobble together to look like a radio station, news station.
However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been...
Lady in the background with a big beehive hairdo.
I think we have some late word just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
I like the formality of that. It's been reported that people are coming back to life, and more importantly, they've committed acts of murder.
The buried dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to...
The murder part is the more scandalous. We're going to just pass over the fact that these people are living dead.
Radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed. We're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you. That's
just like a nice detail that a lot of people don't do. It's just like, hey, like, here's like an actual emergency. Here's a list of like rescue stations that you should go to.
Called this afternoon by the president. Since convening this conference of the presidential cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earth-bound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back
Zombies
Earth,
from Venus,
but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it.
Venus radiation.
That radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering. Newsman Don Quinn in Washington.
God damn it, why can't we have more movies that blame Venus radiation for your monsters?
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a
These
connection
three newsmen.
between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection.
A definite connection. In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause...
You know, that's a scientist, man, because he's got scientist coat on.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been irrefutably proved.
Joseph Stalin, why are you in America?
The radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen. I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry.
Scientist man, we'd like to ask you a few more questions about this Venus
Professor, you feel that
radiation.
there is a definite connection between definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Oh my God! Like, look at all these people who are clearly not actually panicking about the zombie apocalypse.
When the satellite was exploding. Unusual amount of radiation.
It's almost like they're just filming this thing. Oh God! It's just this random car they have.
A bearing on it.
Little star. Oh, it's so adorably low budget.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon.
Professional news crews and military personnels.
There will be a report this afternoon.
So perhaps there will be a report. A later report. Will you close the window?
We are doing everything possible.
But crank up the window. Oh, I love it. I love how cheesy that is. How low budget that is.
The rescue stations and doctors and medical supplies. If we could get Kenner in there, we could get help for her.
Is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down to the basement, put a bar across the door, and it is
They don't
pretty
mention a
strong.
zombie, so
How could we possibly get
I guess
away
the zombies
from here?
wandered in, ate the
With a
lady, and
sick
then
child,
left.
2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know.
Wait, Dr. Grimes? So
Very hard.
is Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead like named after this dude?
Do you have any answers at this time?
I wouldn't be surprised. These like
But first, let me
it's fucking Night of the Living Dead. Everyone fucking references it. But holy shit!
injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic
Look, you go down there and tell, Judy? Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
So yeah, no, like, and this is a thing to keep in mind. Like, I don't know whether the kid has actually canonically been bitten in this movie, and I know that in Dawn of the Dead, dude gets bitten and eventually turns into a zombie. But it is actually mentioned. Romero actually mentioned that the bite equals zombie infection. Was not something that was canon in his original films. The idea was just that if you got bit by a zombie, all the germs and nasty bullshit that a rotting human body who's been eating human flesh transmits to you just would kill you, and then if you died for any reason, you'd get back up because of Venus radiation.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
I don't remember if Zombie actually introduced the concept that, like, yes, if you get bitten, you turn to a zombie, or if that was an even later film, but I know, like, the reason people started associating it was because in Dawn of the Dead, someone gets bit and eventually turns into a zombie, but that was technically not actually a Romero invention. That was more just something that people kind of drew out of the Romero movies because it's sort of implied, but it's actually not that.
They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
Judy, I need you to find some bedspreads or sheets to tear up into small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
Yes.
We need some bottles or jars. Make Molotov cocktails and hold them off while we try to escape.
Oh, that's fucking
There's a
rad.
big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles.
I'm in charge here.
Ring down there. There may be a key to the gas pump on it.
I'll check.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave a door open someplace.
Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. Before we go out, we'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of
Such
you
a
can hold up
prick.
in there.
I found some fruit jars in the
This
cellar.
dude's such an asshole.
There's a key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
Don't trust him, he's an idiot.
You're it then. You and I'll go. We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this
So
door.
he keeps on trying to open his mouth to say something asshole-ish and then just like...
After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck. Now let's move it.
Find something to criticize.
Before this emergency is over, we will need many, many more such rescue stations.
Yeah, this is like an emergency broadcast being played over like large parts of the country. That's gotta be a long fucking list of like places that evacuation sites are shown.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? How many do you have done? Come on, honey, we gotta move.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right.
Again, it's a
As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
shame, like, this lady seems pretty nice. I don't think she's that great of an actress, honestly, but like...
Tom.
Like, there's a bunch of characters in this movie
sure
that
we're doing the right
like
thing,
seem
Tom?
like they could have been a lot stronger if
Yeah.
the movie had just,
Well,
you know,
television said that's the
been
right
made
thing.
another time when
We've
like
got
they
to
would have
get
been
to a
given a little bit
rescue
more of a
station.
chance, would have been
I don't
expected
know.
or
Come on, honey, you're
even
starting to
just
sound like Mr. Cooper now.
understandable. From
Why
the
do
kid.
you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
Ben, okay.
We're safe in here.
For how
Like the
long,
characters, I love the
We're
characters.
safe
They're
now,
good characters, but like,
there's gonna be more
and
and
this is the
more of
thing
those
with
things.
Dawn of the Dead as well.
I
Like they
know all
mention
that.
the characters' names so infrequently that you kind of end up just forgetting what their names are.
Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember
Like
we
they
had to
might
go
have
to
mentioned
Willard
Ben's
then?
name once before
This
this
isn't
when he
passing
introduced
thing,
himself, and I
It's not
dismissed
like
it. But like,
just a wind passing
even if
through.
he did, like that
We've
marks
got to do
2
something.
times that actually said the main character's name. Like Barbara's name, I only remember because of the intro with
I just
you
don't
know
want
like
you to go
her brother
out.
being an asshole.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're sure no use at all, are you? We got work to do, honey. And you...
Yeah, these two are probably the least memorable or interesting characters in the film, though. Like, they're just sort of blandly nice young people. They're probably
We
the
better get her
weakest
downstairs.
of the non-zombie
We have to
actors.
go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
There was a remake.
Oh, I'd like to leave. Yes.
There ended up being a remake of Night of the Living Dead. It's actually starring the dude who, the dude who I guess I'm terrible, but again, this is just a problem with Night and Dawn with the way that they name their characters, but almost never actually name them. The guy who plays the Black SWAT officer, who's kind of like one of the main characters of Dawn of the Dead. In the remake of this, he plays the role of Ben, and they have another lady playing Barbara. And in that remake, which Romero actually, I think he didn't work on directly, but he was like involved in it, he gave like his blessing to. Like they actually play up, the Barbara character as being the actual, like being like the co-star of the film, as being like a genuine badass, who ends up, like kind of sharing, cool girl main character position with Ben. And I really like that movie. It's got problems. It's not quite as classic. I don't give it quite as much slack as I give to this one, because this one has so much, like historical importance and is so old. But it's like of all the remake of there's a ton of remakes of a ton of movies. That one I give a lot of props to for doing something interesting. And there's a lot of dry leaves around it. Like it is a shock they didn't end up accidentally burning down the house. with these like actual literal Molotov cocktails. It's like every time you see a low-budget movie doing like fire effects like this and like setting people on fire, like they don't have the money to be as safe as they probably should be. So like that dude was actually set on fire, and that is crazy. I just wanna ride.
Get back in the cellar. I'm going. It's too late. It's too late.
Alright, this is going to end well.
Unless you're coming, come on. Get in.
I'm very slowly getting in. Don't rush me.
Now, admittedly, that's a pretty bad shot if he was going for a headshot, but they don't actually know that the headshots are like the only way of killing them. I think he kind of sort of figured it out, but like it hasn't really been established in a big way that the characters know that for sure shooting them in the head is like. Yeah, dude, you didn't have to grab all of that thing. You probably could have caught up a little bit more easily just by walking. Not going that fast. Again, like the low budget like effects, you know, if you get knocked over by the car and are too close to the wheels, you just gotta scoot so you don't end up getting run over. Alright, everybody, panic! Panic super hard because, my god, they are very, very slowly coming our way.
Come on! This key won't work. Watch out.
Watch the dart.
This is like the most avoidable accident.
Gotta get away from the pump.
Dun dun! Oh no! My god, how are we gonna get away from the situation? Let's get into the car, into the burning car. We can outdrive the fire! Quick! Well, that plan failed. No, get out on your side. On your side, don't crawl over the driver's seat. And that sort of ended about as well as could be expected. Like I said, they're idiots. Well, this ended poorly. So yeah, he takes a few shots, which, you know, he takes a shot, which lets, you know, Mr. Cooper know that he is alive. I have a friend who's admittedly a little bit of a racist, who believes that Cooper is totally right in, like, trying to lock this dude out because he couldn't have possibly known that he was still alive, despite the fact that very clearly he fired his gun. Like, the gunshot would have carried far enough for them to figure this out. Like, that excuse does not fly with me. Yeah, and he also hears him shouting, "Let me in."
Cooper! Cooper!
Yeah. Cooper's such a dickweed. But yeah, no, I have a friend who tries to defend Cooper as being totally in the right for, like, not letting him in because, like, well, how would you have known? Like, no, bullshit. Cooper fucked up here. As I said, like, in terms of, you know, Ben being an asshole, like, Ben is pissed off at this moment, and I think he's totally justified in being pissed off. Cooper's been nothing but a dick to him, and like then he almost left him to die. Like, sure, he helped like hammer the door in place, but that was only because he needed to in order to survive himself. Like, that doesn't make up for the fact that he
Drag you out there and feed you.
tried to leave Ben to die. And Ben punches him in the face a couple of times, but he doesn't actually like, you know, try and kill him or anything. He just like is pissed and hits him a couple of times. Again, like, I bring this up only because I have a friend who's admittedly a bit of a racist who's like totally like, no, Cooper's in the right here. Ben's an asshole. He's the main. He's basically a villain. It's like, no, fuck that. Back off. I don't know. If you disagree, I'm not going to say that you're a racist because of that. You know, I'm not saying that my friend is kind of a racist because of that. I'm saying he's kind of a racist for other things, and that he also believes, you know, this thing. So I don't know. Feel free to disagree, but my interpretation is that Coop is a fucking dick, and that Ben, while maybe a little overly aggressive, isn't, you know, totally in the wrong for this. Oh, so yeah, apparently like they were like actually eating like little bits like of cooked meat. Like this is actually cooked meat to simulate this. So it was kind of like super weird and gross. It was like just basically like fried chicken.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Oh, only 10 more minutes? We don't have very long to wait.
Are you being sarcastic or?
We can leave. Well, we better leave soon.
Oh no, you're just.
It's 10 minutes to 3.
Just still very traumatized. Poor girl. I said before, but I really feel sorry for her.
I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
And she seems kind of airy in this moment, but to be fair,
At least a mile.
again, like,
Johnny has the keys.
You're
yeah,
gonna carry that child a mile?
oh fuck you,
Through that
dude.
army of things out there?
I can carry
Yeah, again, like Miss Cooper seems a bit airy in this
What's wrong
scene,
with
but
that
like,
shirt?
to be fair, she's been up all
One of
night.
those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
Oh, okay, so she was bitten. Yeah, so
What's wrong?
again, like,
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry?
yeah.
Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
So yeah, again, like this is so okay. She was bitten, so yeah. In both this and
Well, one of us could
Dawn
try
of the
to get to
Dead,
the
like
car.
people who are bitten
You're gonna
always
turn it over by
die.
yourself?
You can't
but it's
start
not
the car.
implied.
Johnny has the keys.
It's not. It's implied that like it's just because of disease, not because
have a
the
car?
bites are like
Where?
instantly
Where is
fatal.
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
I actually kind of forgot how much I feel sorry for Barbara. Like the poor girl is just messed up in the head, and the actress really conveys that very, very well. I think when I was younger, I didn't really appreciate it. I just kind of felt that she was a bit of a load. You know, she didn't really like actually seem to be like able to do anything. But as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate her more and more as just a poor victim.
So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So, yeah. Romero called his monsters ghouls until much later on when they were renamed as zombies to go along with the cultural general perception of them as being zombie movies.
Covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies
And here we get
and
the
military have been organized to search out and
heroes.
destroy the marauding
A bunch of fucking rednecks with guns going out to hunt down undesirables.
that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull.
And if you think I'm like trying to like make a thing out of that, like I'm not. The movie is going to. Like these guys are just a bunch of fucking dum-dums with guns going around, you know,
What do you think from the supply wagon, cuz? No, we're all right.
just kind of like trying to like shoot people and taking advantage of the opportunity to do so.
We don't want to get up again.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down. Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
There we go. That's the line I was waiting for. I love that line as well.
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to get
Well,
more
that one line, that whole like, you know, like, oh yeah, they're dead, they're all messed up. Like, I think that's the best summation of zombies I've ever heard in any movie.
Official spokesman declined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy rain.
Ba-da-dum. It's not in the basement. It's actually still brighter.
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know.
You are just the most useless motherfucker.
It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
You psycho bastard.
Haven't you had enough?
But 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Poor Helen. Like she deserves to be married to someone far less shitty than this asshole. Open up, it's the police. We had a noise complaint. This is the most half-hearted brick throw I've ever seen. Wait, my dickhead senses are tingling. I may have an opportunity to be an asshole. What a true end hero. Everybody's fighting for their lives, and he's like, if I just wait long enough, I can steal that gun and maybe shoot this guy.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to stay up here now? Helen, get the cellar.
This guy's like the... Jesus Christ, you're threatening your goddamn life with a gun to force her into the cellar. But again, like, this is another scene which, like, my buddy was like, oh no, like, see, like, Ben is a monster, Cooper is a hero. But, like, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, Coop is such a fucking piece of shit in this film. You know, like, I don't necessarily agree with Ben shooting him, but, like, the dude waited till they were almost, like, going to die in order to get an opportunity to steal the gun, threaten to shoot him. And Coop fucking flops downstairs. I shouldn't call him Coop, because that makes him sound like he's Agent Dale Cooper. You know, this Cooper is much much shittier than that Cooper, obviously. I did it all for the little girl. Forgive me, Madison. I die as I lived. A piece of shit. Oh, grab your hands, grab your hands. That one zombie's been here the entire time. Like, he was there at the very beginning of the movie, he's here, going all the way to the end. But hey, our heroine's actually finally going to start doing something. Yeah, I like her. Oh, Maddie. So yeah, this is the scene that kind of actually like got them to like consider the movie to be like NC-17, you know, equivalent of the 60s. The little girl fucking like tears her dad's arm off, grabs a fucking trowel, and goes ham on her mom. Like, goddamn. And that sound design is nuts. Like, it's unrealistic, but it's crazy and weird and cool. Like, it sounds great. Like, kudos for this fucking crazy, surreal, you know, like, murder scene. And unfortunately, you know, a total piece of shit dies, but so does a character I actually rather like. And we're back once again to just these two. And him! And our zombie hero. Oh, and it's you! And somewhat fittingly, Johnny, the absolute ass, gets his sister killed. Again, in the remake that actually made her kind of the main character, she survives the movie, and the first her opening to her like big dramatic escape comes with her shooting her brother in the head, which nice little reversal of this scene. Oh shit! Get away from me, little girl! Good child, actually. Like that, she was genuinely creepy as hell. I know like spooky little girls were really as much of a thing prior to this point. I don't really know as much about like some of the earlier gothic horror stuff. I don't think they really went nuts with children just because of how many rules and just social taboos were around having like evil children or, you know, children getting harmed in any sort of way. So I don't know if this is like one of the first examples of like this super creepy, you know, evil little girl who wants to murder you, but it's definitely one of the more striking early examples, at the very least. And especially considering the fact that like probably the most like horrific scene in the movie involves her tearing off someone's arm and then stabbing someone to death with a trowel. I always wonder what happens to like actors who kind of are only famous for one movie. So I would be curious to find out what happened to her if she ended up having a career in acting, or if this was just kind of that one role she did. Oh Jesus Christ! I forgot how gnarly that looked. And now you get to shoot him again. Congrats. Okay, the headshot thing shouldn't be too hard for this dude. Don't feel bad about it. He totally deserved death. Unfortunately, she kind of didn't, and now you gotta take care of her. Alright, to be fair, like, considering the fact that, like, he unloads, like, 3 or 4 shots into Mr. Cooper and only 1 into Miss Cooper, he probably actually got the headshot the first time and was just, like, pouring more rounds into him because of what a dick he is. Whereas with Miss Cooper, it was like a legit mercy kill. And ironically, he ends up in the basement. Though, you know, probably could have been avoided if Mr. Cooper hadn't been such a dickweed and helped fortify the walls rather than, you know, like fighting him for the gun and taking away even more defenses. And again, in the remake, as a fun little thing, in that scene, there's a dramatic irony where he actually finds the keys to the gas station, which would have negated some of the stuff that ended up getting them killed. In the remake, it's been years and years since I watched the remake, but I think they actually also had it in the remake where the explosion happened like literally when they shot the gas tank, rather than later on when the putting the torch down and spraying the gas all over the place kind of worked in unison to fuck everything up. Here we go, helicopter landing. Converts a little circle. We start with the car and with a chopper. And a group of heroes, hero redneck vigilantes, walking through a field with guns looking for, you know, people looking for survivors. I wonder if social commentary is going to happen. I wonder if one of those famous like endings in horror is going to occur and have some sort of thematic resonance.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out. You stay here, Bill.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with
Oh, look at that old school camera.
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the work, you take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours, and we'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet
The news car. Newsmobile.
Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
I do actually genuinely love this thing. Like,
All right, Steve, tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
you don't see a lot of this, but you know, like having this thing where you have like the news crew where you see it on TV, and then later on you just straight up see like these news guys just off camera chilling out and stuff. It's very, very rare that you get that kind of scene. I love it whenever I see it. Got this black guy in a house, a bunch of rednecks with guns, you know, coming to investigate. I wonder what could happen here. How could this movie about in which almost everyone dies get even more depressing? Cops with guns, rednecks with guns, vigilantes with guns.
They need you down there by the barn.
I wonder if I'm foreshadowing what's gonna happen enough.
Check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince. Yeah, sure looks like it, Cop.
And this does take place in the same universe as Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and the much later Land of the Dead. And actually, I don't know if Diary and Return of, or Survival of the Dead are both in the same universe, but it takes place in the same universe where the zombies eventually take over and destroy everything. So it is kind of curious that like this movie ends with what appears to be the humans cleaning everything up. To be fair, I don't know whether necessarily this is supposed to take place in the same universe. It might be that this one is just a self-contained thing.
That out of here and throw it on the fire.
But I'm
Nothing down
pretty
here?
sure this
All right,
is in the
go ahead down and
same
give 'em a
universe.
hand.
Maybe.
Let's go check out the
Maybe.
house. There's something there. I heard a noise. All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
Oh, shit.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
These redneck cops shot our vigilante cops shot our black protagonist. Well, this movie sure has aged poorly. It's not like something like that could ever happen today. Gewalt. It's not subtle, but it's depressingly timeless. That's a grim fucking end credits. Just literally like police photos of them taking, you know, the protagonist, you know, his body, and, you know, hooking him up with fucking like meat hooks to go and dump him on the fucking fire. It's like, oh man, like, this movie was made in the 60s, but it is, kind of feels like it just keeps on, you know, becoming a little bit dated, and like on the nose, and then kind of becoming depressingly not. And like all these people, Chili Billy, I like the fact that they got a dude credited here as Chili Billy. So that's what happens when you get a bunch of like rando locals to be in your movies. You get some pretty fucking wonderful names. This light-hearted, happy-go-lucky ending. I guess I ended up watching the entire movie in one go after all, which I wasn't going to, but what can I say? It's the same reason why I kind of didn't end up criticizing it or making fun of it as much as I was going to, because I just really fucking love this movie. It's been forever since I watched it. I forgot how good it is. Maybe some people will disagree, but I know, I love it. It's a little cheesy, it's a little corny, it's a little slow in places, but god fucking damn it, this movie is amazing. Thank you, George Romero. Thank you for making one of the great horror films. One of many. All right, well, thank you so much for watching along with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.